Hello and welcome to Mumblecast. My name's Liam. Kayla. Oh, Christ's sake. Fucking Skype. Kayla, are you there?
Yes.
You're there? Okay,
Yes.
Good. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you see me?
Yes.
Yay! Why can you see me?
Because I'm back.
She is back, finally. The last, how many months has it been? It's about 6? 7? 5?
6, I don't know.
Feels it longer at some points. Unless
Yes.
at some others. Finally, Kayla's back. I can physically touch it. I'm not, because I smell at the moment. I've been at the gym. I don't just generally smell. But she's back. Yay!
Yay.
Get back for good. So the podcast hopefully should be clearer and less jolted. Not that it even sounded it, because editing was so good.
You never knew I was gone.
No, well, some of them probably not. A couple of them. I messed up last one. Did you hear last one's? Like, I had my microphone turned back to front, so I sounded like I was in another room. It was really annoying. I was editing. I was like, oh, God's sake, amateur mistake. But how are you doing?
I'm good.
How was Japan?
It's alright.
Yeah.
It's over.
Glad to be back.
Yes.
Nice. Yeah, we're glad to have you back. It's nice to see you and Drake. Although Drake is not going to be here for another week and then he's gone again.
Yeah.
But he'll be back here.
Yeah.
It's his main thing. I was late coming and I drove here really fast and only did I realise that I've got no petrol left in my car. And I don't mean like, oh, the orange light's just come on. I mean like the orange light's been on and the numbers have stopped counting down. You know, it says like you've got 2 miles
good.
left.
Mm-hmm.
All that came up was a wee car and a pump and like attached to each other. And I was like, oh God. So I've got a feeling if I go to my car once we finish this, I might not make it to the petrol station.
It's not good.
So that'll be a fun evening.
We'll figure it out. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So what we're doing today. One thing that Kayla and I have been talking about a lot, almost every time we do this podcast, it's like we almost have a countdown to something that's coming out in 2 weeks' time?
Yeah, I think next week.
Next week.
Yeah.
Which I'm going to say we booked tickets, but we've not actually booked them yet. But we kind of have. We planned out our evening, sort of. Not really, but kind of.
Kind of.
For Avengers Infinity War.
Yes.
So if you listen to this podcast, you know that we're kind of avid fans.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. And we did the MCU Phase 1. We had a big talk about that. That was probably our longest podcast. We just split it into 2 pieces. Maybe even longer than Harry Potter. Oh, no, we only did once.
Yeah,
like, plus 3 episodes. So God, that's going to be a long one too.
Yeah.
But so, the Infinity War is the fourth Avengers movie.
It's the third Avengers movie, right?
Yeah. Avengers and then Avengers Age of Ultron. Okay, so it's going to be the third Avengers movie and the 4th or 5th movie in Phase 3 of the phases of Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yes.
There's only like 2 or 3 movies after that, but this is like the big one everyone's been working towards. So prior to that, and similar to our Phase 1, we're going to go through Phase 2. Hopefully not as long. We'll maybe keep it to like 2 20-minute episodes.
Yes.
Partially because there's less movies, partially because the last one was too long, and also because neither of us have seen some of these movies in a while, so we might be quite brief with them. But it's so good.
Yes.
Okay. Well, in that case, that was the longest intro yet.
Let's get ready to mumble! That was perfect this time.
Perfect. It's amazing what happens when you're sitting across the table from each other. All right. Okay. So, quick recap. What were the movies in Phase 1? Let's think off the top of our heads. First one, Iron Man.
Okay.
Second one, Iron Man 2?
Incredible Hulk.
Incredible Hulk. Nice, yeah. Then Iron Man 2, the movie. Mm-hmm. And then Thor.
Yes.
Captain America, First Avenger.
Uh-huh.
Then was that it? No, Thor.
One more.
No. What was the other one?
The big one.
Who else? Well, Avengers. But was that it? Was that only 6 of them? Oh, okay. Maybe it's not. I thought there was more in that one.
No,
so that was Phase 1.
Wow,
we talked a lot. We went into every detail, like how much they grossed and all that stuff. Yeah, we won't talk about that today. We're going to focus mainly on the characters and storyline rather than production figures and stuff. But yeah, so they were the first 6. Avengers was a big climax, which made billions of dollars probably, I think, worldwide. And it's amazing to see how far it's come. Mm-hmm. Like, now, I know we weren't going to talk about Phase 3 yet, but if you look at some of the pictures of like first time Thor and current Thor, you're like, what the hell are we thinking?
Yep.
It's funny. All right, Phase 2. Do you want to go for a synopsis of the whole thing, or do we want to talk about just the movies in particular? Like, what do you feel like? What do you feel like happened? What was the if you had to round up all of Phase 2 in a one-er, what would you say?
I don't know. So Phase 1 ended with like the whole New York City thing, and then it was just like they all had to come together, and then I feel like Phase 2 was kind of them finding themselves. And then like there was the one movie where they kind of introduced, or actually 2 movies where they introduced new people, but like the rest of it was just kind of them finding themselves throughout it. And then it ended with, well, technically didn't end with it, but kind of ended with the Age of Ultron one, where they like have to come back together again. So
yeah, no, I think you pretty much nailed it there. It was post Battle of New York, and then they deepened the sort of roster, I suppose you could say, with characters, and then they also kind of pushed forward the storyline to get to a point where they could introduce, I guess, Phase 3. Strengthening the Avengers to the point where it showed you how strong they really were, I guess. And also introduce some other things towards Infinity War, which we'll talk about when it comes to those apparent movies. And they had a little bit of Hydra still, talking with Captain America. I don't know if that's going to come up anymore. It might do, these talks about Red Skull and Infinity War, but...
really?
Yeah, apparently. Well, apparently Thanos has his... it's like his horsemen, but I can't remember what it's called. It's like his group of like 4 people. It's not horsemen, it's something else. Horsemen's Apocalypse one, but... and this chat that they want it to be like ex-villains brought back, but I don't think it will be. But it'd be really cool if it was Red Skull, because he just got teleported. We need to do an episode specifically on the gems, talk about them, all stones is in this movies. But
Let's wait till we get past Phase 2.
We'll talk about it during Infinity War or something. Maybe we'll do Infinity War solo, like just talking about... No, because I have to talk about these. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But yes. All right. What was movie 1 and Phase 3? Do you remember?
Phase 2?
2, yes.
Yes, Iron Man 3.
Iron Man 3. All right, talk to me a little bit about Iron Man 3.
All right, so it came out in May 2013, some time ago. So, like I said, they just had the...
2013?
Yeah.
5 years ago.
Yeah.
We watched this a long time.
Yes. So they just had the Battle of New York, and the movie starts with Tony Stark, who is Iron Man, is like having panic attacks and just about the whole New York thing. And so he kind of goes a little crazy and starts making all these suits in order to, I guess, like help that fear. And that like causes him and Pepper Potts to just not be getting along very well. And then they introduce the Mandarin terrorist. Who like all these bombings keep happening and they keep blaming it on Mandarin. And the whole storyline just is about that. You want me to go into detail?
Yeah, no, let's go into detail. Go for it.
Okay, so I have a lot on this one. So it starts in the beginning with him, but I think that's like a flashback. Meeting, what's her name? Hansen and Adrian Killian.
Yeah, so there's a flashback to like the 1980s or something, or the late 1990s when they meet at a fair, and Killian meets him up as like an up-and-comer, and he sort of poo-poos him off a little bit. And
like they kind of want him to, I think they like want him to try to work with them, and he says no.
Yeah.
And so Hansen has created this thing called Extremis, and I think that's the name of it. And so it was like an experimental regenerative, put too many syllables in that, treatment. And I guess like Killian is kind of working under her or whatever. And then, so they say no, and then it goes to present day, and that's when he's just like panic attacks and everything. This terrorist Mandarin, there's bombs in multiple locations, and then he gets pulled in when his security chief, Happy Hogan, which we see later, is injured. So he like issues a warning to Mandarin, and then Mandarin blows up his house. And so I think Hansen had come to like warn them that Mandarin was gonna like do this. So Pepper Potts and Hansen survive, but like I don't remember if he's like in the suit already or if he like got in the suit, but the suit takes him to Tennessee.
Well, this is one of the ones when so Happy Hogan was in an accident at a Chinese theatre. It blew up, and that's what he had in that. And then that's when he said the thing, and then he said, "Come get me," and they all couldn't get him, surprisingly. And then, but this was the introduction of the new suit that sort of came to him. So it was in pieces and it flew to him. So I think they started falling and dying, and then he sent one suit to Pepper, and he sent one suit to himself. But I didn't quite cover him fully or something. But I can't remember how he got out of that.
I just know that he ends up in Tennessee.
Yeah.
And has no way to get home because this suit is like the experimental one or whatever. So that's when he teams up with this kid who...
Jarvis followed a flight plan to escape and took him to Tennessee. That was it.
So then he teams up with this kid, and They just like I think that I remember them like trying to fix the suit or something, but basically he's just trying to figure out who's like who's doing the bombings or whatever. So they figure out that the bombings are triggered by, I think they like see one, like the remnants of one or something, and they figure out that the bombings are triggered by these soldiers who had underwent the extremist treatment, and then like they're fine, but then their bodies react to it, and then they become the bomb.
Yeah.
And they're being like falsely contributed to terrorists as a cover up. So then Potts and Hansen are kidnapped by Mandarin, but I don't remember how.
I can't quite remember. It's been a long time.
Yeah.
But I can't remember even who Hansen is.
So she's the original creator of Extremis.
Oh yes. Okay. I got you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So then, this all just leads them to Miami, where they discover that Mandarin is actually a actor named Trevor Slattery, and he's just like the face of Mandarin, but the real Mandarin or the real like terrorist person is Aldrich Killian, who was the person who was working with Hansen to begin with. So basically, he's just taken over Extremis from her and is trying to like make it better and use it because he's like a disabled scientist and he wants to heal himself. So he's been testing it on like a bunch of different war veterans to try to perfect it. Okay,
and they're the ones who've been exploding.
Yes.
Okay, got you. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And so, how's it climax?
So he ends up capturing Stark and tells Stark that he has subjected Pepper Potts to this extremist experiment so that Stark will help him perfect it in order to save her. He kills Hansen in the process of all of this. And then, so then Stark escapes. I don't know if he like just leaves Pepper there. I don't remember. He escapes. He reunites with Rhodes, which is War Machine, aka Iron Patriot.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so they discover that Killian is going to attack the president on Air Force One. So they like go to save that. He ends up kidnapping the president anyway. They save a bunch of the people who were on the flight, but then kidnaps the president anyway. And Killian wants to kill him on live television so that the vice president can take over and become like the puppet in exchange for extremists to help cure his daughter. So all this like accumulates where Stark saves Pepper Potts while Rhodes saves the president, but Stark really doesn't save Pepper. She falls and they assume that she dies, but then Stark goes after Killian, but doesn't actually kill him. But because Pepper Potts had extremists, she survived the fall and then comes up and actually is the one to kill Killian.
Ah, okay. Because is that the point when she like, uses that? She has that extremist power, but she somehow sends it to Killian instead, or does she kill him another way?
I think she kills him another way. I don't remember how she kills him, but the extremists helped her survive the fall, and then she like comes up and kills him. So then in the ending, Stark orders Jarvis.
Wait. Are we sure? Because I thought that Stark puts one of his suits on Killian and makes it self-destruct.
But it doesn't actually kill him.
Oh, okay.
So then she comes up and kills him.
Got you. Okay.
So then, in the end, he has Jarvis destroy all the Iron Man suits as a sign that, like, I'm done being Iron Man.
Yeah.
And then he has his shrapnel removed from his heart so he can officially stop being Iron Man. And somehow the extremist gets stabilized for Pepper Potts.
Uh-huh.
And then it's done.
Huh. Yeah, I totally forgot that. Well, no, nobody liked Iron Man 3. If I recall.
No.
As in, it still did very well at the box office and all that stuff. I'm not going to talk about that, but a couple of reasons why it didn't do so well is A, you could tell by that it's not the best story. Mm-mm. It's kind of a bit... Mm-hmm. And what was I going to say? The whole thing with him and Potts was weird, and then all the suits and all this sort of stuff was a bit boring. And the thing is, so in the Iron Man comic books, first of all, the Mandarin is like his arch nemesis, essentially. Okay. It's one of his biggest villains, and the 5 rings...
Wrong. I think you mean 10 rings.
Are like a lot of Iron Man's comic books are focused around them, and the 5 rings are like these...
Wrong again. You mean 10 rings.
Different rings that provide different powers. It's almost like gems.
Yeah.
You know, different things. And you can 5 rings.
And once more, wrong again. You mean 10 rings.
Are used at various stages in different Marvel movies actually as sort of knowledge to like terrorists. And if actors in the original movie, the
10 rings.
the guy, what was the guy's name again? Like Yaza or something.
I don't remember.
Yeah, well, he was part of the
10 rings,
which is all part of Mandarin. And but now this sort of messed that up with Mandarin being Killian, not a real person. But there's still hints that there is a real Mandarin out there. So maybe in Iron Man 4, whenever that might come back.
Yeah.
So that'd be quite interesting. And it was magic more than science as well. So a lot of like the hardcore fans weren't a fan of that. And then there was, what else was it that people didn't like? Oh, so another big part of the comic book is Iron Man struggling with alcoholism and, you know, what he's done and all that sort of stuff. And they touched on it, but in a really kind of poor manner, I think a lot of people thought. Because that, again, that's a big part of who Iron Man is or how he is. And we still get a bit of a feel of that in other ones, but I think they tested the water here and they're like, that doesn't work.
Yeah.
So they've got moved away from it. But overall, this is kind of a weak movie.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, yeah, it's good to have another fun Iron Man outing, but I remember coming out of the movie going like, oh, that was a bit disappointing.
It was just very slow.
Yeah. And it was like, at the end, although you had him and Iron Patriot and that fighting, you had so many other bots out like Iron Man suits, it just became a little bit like Age of... it's the Avengers movie again, with all these mechanical bots flying about. And same as Age of Ultron, we've got to in a bit. But, and it didn't... Did it really deepen any of Iron Man's story? Not really, I don't think.
I think that it set up Age of Ultron. All right.
It set up how he thinks about Age of Ultron.
Yes.
Yeah, how he thinks about the world. Yeah, that's true, actually.
But that's pretty much it.
Yeah, there wasn't really much else that he got involved with there. You know, him and Pepper, as in, no one quite knows what goes on with him and Pepper anyway. Like, one minute they're broken apart, next minute they're engaged. We'll talk about that in phase 3, but yeah, I don't know. It was fine.
Yeah.
I like Guy Pearce as an actor. He played Killian, Aldrich Killian, but it was kind of meh.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was about it. Forgettable. Not the strongest. Probably this and another one in the same phase, possibly the weakest. But it's interesting because there's another 2 movies in this which are probably the strongest, in my opinion. So that was good. Have you got what the post-credits was?
Post-credit, I just know I don't know if there were 1 or 2, but one of them was him laying on the couch talking to Banner about, like, I just watched this one the other day, actually. It was pretty funny. He's, like, laying on the couch talking to Banner about, like, how he feels and all this other stuff, and Banner's, like, falling asleep, and he's like, you're not even listening to me, and he's like, but I'm not that type of doctor. And that was basically just, that's the only one I know of. I don't know the other one.
Yeah, no, I think that's the only one I remember. There might be another one. If I forget it, that'll be really bad. I should probably Google it very quickly. No, it's just him on the couch.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah. All right. Iron Man 3 out of 10. I would probably give it a 6.
Yeah.
Not that we do things out of 10 over in this podcast, but hey, that's it. Sounds good.
Yeah.
All right. Next one. Dark World? Okay. So this is the other movie which wasn't so good in this one. Thor: The Dark World. Another forgettable Thor. The second one in the thing. Now, I've seen this twice maybe, and it was another interest. It introduced Ether, which is a big part of things, even though we've not seen it since. But do you want to give us a synopsis of this one?
It's up to you.
Because I can't remember this one. Okay. I can remember the other ones a little more.
Yeah, I think the only important part of this one was that it introduced an Infinity Stone.
Yeah, yeah. I think we should maybe keep this one short because nobody likes this one.
Yeah. All right, so
go ahead.
This one, it starts off with this, like, I guess, like a flashback again of Thor's grandfather, Bor, fighting with this dark elf, Malith. I can't say his name. Malith? I don't know.
Yeah, I'd go with that. Malith.
And the dark elf wants to unleash ether on 9 realms, and Bor conquers him, traps the ether. I think he thinks he kills the elf, but he actually just, like, is in this suspended animation thing.
Okay.
Then present day, Loki's on trial for everything he did in New York, and Thor's, like, all fighting this other battle. But then they find out that this convergence is going to happen, and it's this, like, alignment of the 9 realms, and it's going to cause different portals to open up at random.
Okay.
So that happens, and when that happens, Jane Foster, who is, like, Thor's girlfriend. I don't know if they're girlfriend now, but whatever.
At this point, I think they were.
Yeah. She and her assistant are like looking at these different portals, and she gets transported to another world and infected by the ether, which I'm confused by because I thought the ether was locked up, but whatever. So then she gets infected by it, and
but was it locked up in a realm that nobody could reach?
Maybe she just went to that portal to that realm.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Sounds right.
So then she like comes back to Earth, and Thor goes to Earth to find like Heimdall's like something happened to Jane, and so he goes to Earth to find her, and she unleashes this force, and so he takes her to Asgard, and Odin warns Thor that this ether is going to kill her, and that it also is like a catastrophic prophecy. So when the ether is released, that dark elf like awakens from the suspended animation and returns to Asgard to attack it. He kills Thor's mom, who was like trying to protect Jane.
Yep.
So then Thor, Loki, and Jane go to, I'm not even going to try to say the name of that place. It starts with an S. To fight this guy. They're going to use her as like the bait and draw him in. Okay. Because he wants the ether. And so when that happens, it like starts transferring over to him, and Thor's supposed to like break it or smash it or something. But he doesn't. And so then it merges with the dark elf, and he starts like destroying different worlds. Through all of this, Loki gets hurt pretty bad, like dying. And so Thor's like, I'm going to tell Dad what you did to your sacrifice, and then leaves him there, and then starts battling the Malek or whatever through the different portals. They get separated, and he ends up on Earth, where the convergence is supposed to happen, and he's going to do something big. I don't remember what. They fight some more, and then he's transported back to that place where they had originally met and crushed by his ship. So then he's dead, and Thor returns to Asgard, declines to take Odin's throne. But then this is where the turn happens, because as he's walking away, Odin transforms into Loki. So Loki's not dead.
Yes, because at one point, him and Loki, Thor and Loki were working together to stop Malekith. I think it's Malekith.
And that's when he got hurt, and they assumed he was dead.
Assumed he was dead, yeah.
But now he's
actually just
Odin.
Tracking himself, yeah.
Yeah.
Which comes up later, which they don't use at all later on, but again, we won't talk about it yet. Yeah. But if they make it was going to be some big, massive plot point, but it just really isn't.
No, not really.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, and then somehow they get the ether back, and Volstagg and Sif take it to the Collector to keep it safe, because they're like, we already have one Infinity Stone on Asgard. We don't want to have two that close together. So the Collector is going to hold on to that one. Yeah, and you find out Ether is the next Infinity Stone. So
at this point, this was prior to Guardians of the Galaxy, right?
Mm-hmm. So we've only got two right now.
So the Collector has... Oh no, the Collector's... Because he doesn't get the third yet. But when they blow up his place with the Power Stone, is the Ethos there?
Yes. I think so. I mean, I guess.
Because I guess the Ether's with the Collector for Infinity War. I guess.
Unless Thanos took it from him.
Well, I don't think Thanos has taken it yet. Well, I think we'll see that. But looking at the clips for Infinity War, we don't see the red stone in his fist yet at the beginning. The first one's the blue one, and then I think he gets the one from Vision. Yeah. This... I went and saw this went to cinema. I enjoyed it at the cinema. I was like, it wasn't as bad as people said it was. But it's so unmemorable again. Like... The thing about this is Malekith. I think Malekith might come back as well in Infinity War. He might be, how I said about earlier about the villains. He might be one of them. I think there's been pictures of him. I'm not sure though. But a lot of this story is just we never see Jane Foster again. You know, the thing about nobody ever mentions his mum Freya again. The whole thing about Loki becoming Odin is hardly touched upon.
Yeah.
You know, it's the Ether's never mentioned again until Infinity War. So I don't know. It's fine.
It's an easy one to forget.
It still made over $500,000.
Twice.
But I kind of want to see it again, just to make sure I am right about my fact I'm not a fan of it. But I was happy in this one because Thor, they didn't bleach his eyebrows the same way they did in the first one. So I was like, okay, he looks a little bit better at least.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it had all the good same characters like Heimdall as a character. And what was Jane? Was Jane Foster's assistant in it? You know, the one that's on Two Broke Girls.
Darcy?
She's fun. Was she in this one?
Oh, I thought it was a guy.
Oh, did it have to change it to a guy in this one?
I don't know.
I don't know. I like Darcy. I hope Darcy was in it. I can't remember. I think Darcy's in something later, though. Anyway, I don't know. I don't remember. Oh, yeah. Darcy Lewis. Kai Dennings. Yes, she was in this.
Okay.
She's cool. Yeah, I can't think of anything else important that happens in this one that needs to carry on.
I think this one was solely for... Maybe they were going to go somewhere deeper with the Odin thing. They really didn't.
Yeah.
But I think this one was solely for the ether.
It's like...
They needed to find a way to put a stone in there. So they chose a terrible movie.
As in, it was... I don't know if it was directed by anyone. I don't think he's done any other movies. And it may have been written just after the fall of the last one. So maybe they weren't sure about the Infinity Stones yet and what they were doing. But it was a fine movie.
Yeah.
I'm not fussed about it. It's going through these 6, it's not one I'd recommend people watch. No. You could easily not see this one, I think, and I feel you could probably go into Infinity War and the ethers with the collector, cool.
Yeah.
You know?
As long as you knew what it was.
What was the ether though? What stone is it? It's the reality stone, is it?
I think so.
Yeah. Ether is the reality stone. Checked it. Confirmed it. Alright, cool. You want to move on? Oh no, sure. What was the credit scene? What was the credit scene?
I'm not sure. I think it might have been them.
Was it the showing us
taking it to the collector, maybe?
Yeah, so it was them to take it to the collector. Okay. So that was quite a good final scene, I guess, because it introduced the collector, which is a big, he's quite a big person in the Marvel comics.
Okay.
And he's actually, I believe, to be really, 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 really old. So that'd be interesting. Oh, there was a second one. Oh, and then the other one was showing his disguise.
It was?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
All right, cool. All right, I think we'll do one more, and then we'll maybe split it for the next half.
Okay.
Let's end on a good one then, which is good because the next one is good.
Yeah.
The next one is Winter Soldier, I believe.
Yes.
Cool.
All right. So, 2 years after Battle of New York, Roger's working for S.H.I.E.L.D. under Nick Fury. He's like the leader. Mm-hmm. Is he the leader?
Nick Fury's like the operations leader, I feel. I think he's not like the head boss guy.
Sure. So Rogers and Black Widow go on a mission together, led by Agent Rumlow, which I don't know who she is. I just know she's important in this movie. Yes.
Okay.
So they're on this mission, and he thinks it's like they have one agenda on it, but then
Is Rumlow a girl or a guy?
I think it's a girl.
Is Rumlow not a guy who becomes Crossbones? Remember Rumlow, like the dark-haired guy, and who becomes like the guy with the X, and actually becomes like mutated in the later ones, and blows himself up at the start of Age of Ultron.
Is it?
Yeah, I think he's a guy. What's his name? Brock Rumlow. Yeah, okay, so it's the guy.
So it is a guy.
Yeah, it's the guy who's just a normal human but becomes I don't know if you remember Crossbones or not.
No, I don't.
Okay, but yeah, it's a dude.
Okay, good. So they're on this mission led by that Agent Romolo, and Rogers thinks it's for one thing, but then like mid-mission, Black Widow goes off and like starts collecting data from the ship for Fury. So then like they all get back, and Rogers confronts Fury because he has to like always be the perfect one. And so Fury's like briefs him on this thing called Project Insight, which is going to be 3 helicarriers linked to spy satellites, and they're designed to preemptively eliminate threats. So they get this data that she got from this mission, and they're trying to like decode it, but he can't break into it and read it. So he starts becoming suspicious of the project, and asks Pierce, which is the head of he's not head of S.H.I.E.L.D. official.
Okay.
To delay the project. So like, I don't remember if he agrees to it. I don't think he does. So Fury's like on his way to meet Maria Hill. Mm-hmm. And that's when they're ambushed by the Winter Soldier. That's a
cool introduction to the Winter Soldier. Do you remember that scene? Because that's when he's still got the mask over his face, so you can't quite see him and stuff. And then, yeah, it's a good introduction to him. Yeah, carry on. Sorry.
Yeah. So Fury escapes and like goes to Roger's apartment and explains that S.H.I.E.L.D. has been compromised. And during all this, he's like gunned down by the Winter Soldier, but he gives Rogers the flash drive that Black Widow got from the ship.
Who's gunned down?
Fury.
Yeah, because he's in the attack from Winter Soldier.
Yeah,
because he does not drill a wee hole in the ground though, and that's how he gets away. Remember, he's like in the van, and he has that laser cutter, and he kind of cuts into the concrete.
But is that before? So like he gets attacked when they're in the van.
Yeah. Like
meeting Maria Hill or whatever, but then he escapes that and goes to Captain America's apartment, and there he gets shot too. There he gets shot,
yeah.
Because the other one was just like they were attacking them, but he gets shot there, and that's when he like goes into surgery and they pronounce him dead.
Yeah.
He
gets shot.
Fury gets shot. They go to the hospital. They pronounce him as dead. But Maria Hill gets the body, and just has a dead body now.
Because they're all looking through the windows and stuff. Him and Romanoff are looking through the window. Yeah. And is this when Romanoff hides the USB in the vending machine?
I don't remember that part.
I think she hides it in the vending machine, and then he goes back later to get it. Or he hides it in the vending machine, and she goes back later to get it. I think she hides it, and then he takes it from the vending machine. I just remember a vending machine and a USB in the vending machine.
I don't remember any of that, but
I'm sure
I know it happened. So then they finally...
You should also mention, at the point in his apartment, this is the introduction of Peggy's niece, or daughter, or granddaughter, or something.
Who is she?
You know, Peggy Carter was not Peggy. Yeah, Agent Carter was the one he wanted to dance with when he was...
Yeah. And but who is his granddaughter?
His granddaughter is Sharon Carter.
Oh.
But she doesn't know him as Carter, as Sharon something else at that point. Because they have that weird sort of tension and like the sexual tension.
Okay,
and then she comes in shooting. And anyway, carry on.
Yes. Okay, so they uncover some data, which leads them to this shield bunker or something like that.
Yes.
And then when they go there, they activate this supercomputer that has the preserved conscious of Arnim Zola.
Mm-hmm.
So then this conscious Zola person reveals that ever since Hydra was founded, after World War II, Hydra has been secretly operating within its ranks. And they're just trying to like create so much chaos that humanity surrenders its freedom in exchange for security.
Yeah.
That's Hydra's ultimate goal. So then this missile comes in and blows up the bunker, and they narrowly escape.
They show lots of different sort of information, like how they've been infiltrating and attacking people, and they show one really important thing.
I don't remember.
Can you remember?
Mm-mm.
Try. It comes into play in Civil War, big time. So they show that it was the soldier who we know to be the Winter Soldier killed Howard Stark and so Tony Stark's dad and mother. Or
I didn't know that.
It was a Hydra agent that did it. So yeah, that's what they get told or find out at that point. But anyway, sorry, carry on. The missile comes in.
That's interesting. I didn't know that. So the missile comes in, blows it up. They realize that Pierce is actually Hydra's leader within S.H.I.E.L.D.
Okay.
So they know that there's at least one, and then they know that there's other moles too. And so they get help from Falcon. Find out that Jasper Sitwell is a Hydra mole. They find out that Bucky Barnes is the Winter Soldier. Bucky Barnes is Steve Rogers' best friend from when, like, before all this happened, like World War II.
Yeah.
Yeah, so then they figure out that Fury faked his death. I don't know why Fury faked his death. Just to, like,
put
I guess...
scent or something, I guess, maybe?
Yeah, because he knew Hydra was, like, operating within S.H.I.E.L.D.
Oh, yeah, was it not to fish out who the Hydra agent was or something?
Oh, maybe.
Like, when he was gone, you could see who was going to take control of it or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, so they figure out that he faked his death, and so then now that they all plan to, like, meet up and sabotage the helicarriers by replacing their controller chips.
Because if the helicopters, the three of them will try to get to a certain height, and then they would use their weapons to shoot down all potential criminals or something. It was like a whole Minority Report type thing. They had like pinpointed a certain amount of people who could or may be terrorists.
Yeah.
And it was going to kill all those people.
Yeah.
Either that or kill all like agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. or something. One or the other. Can't remember if it was kill all good guys or kill all people that could be bad guys.
I think it was supposed to be kill all people that could be bad guys, but I think that since Hydra was a part of it, it was like alternative.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, that sounds about
like
right.
that was Fury and Shield's plan for it was to kill the bad guys, but they knew that it was going to be.
Yeah, they was going to eliminate all threats against Hydra rather than against the world. Okay, yeah. Including people like Tony Stark, Bruce Banner, and Stephen Strange. Apparently, they were all three of them were mentioned.
Really
interesting. Stephen Strange was mentioned.
Yeah,
because that's way ahead of his time. Anyway, yes. So they go on and attack.
Yeah, so it's just this big fight. This is where the big fight scene happens. They all work together to blow up these Project Insight helicarriers and expose Hydra. Rogers and Falcon, Captain America and Falcon find the Winter Soldier, but like this is where Captain America's like, but I'm not going to fight you. And Winter Soldier just kind of like beats his ass.
Yeah.
A little bit. Yeah. Romulo is a double agent for Hydra. We find that out. I don't know if they find it out.
What, that Romulo?
I think so.
Well, does he not like... Well, no, because I think at some point there's a really good elevator scene when they're escorting Steve Rogers out of the... Either out or into the S.H.I.E.L.D. agency, and there's like 12 guys. And then Steve just kind of looks to his side and he says something like, "Oh, you guys want to do this." And then nobody says anything, and then he beats them all up. Do you remember that?
Yes.
That's a very good scene.
Yeah.
But so I think that's when he kind of realised that Rob Beloff, what his name was, was a bad guy.
Yeah.
To some degree, anyway.
So yeah, I mean, I can go into the fight scene, but basically they fight, they destroy the helicarriers. They win because it's S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah, and it crashes right into like the S.H.I.E.L.D. building, does it not? Into the water.
Yeah.
But who saves Captain America? Because he goes down with it.
Winter Soldier.
Winter Soldier saves him.
Because he feels something in his heart.
He feels that. It's cute.
Yeah, that's basically the end of that one. And then the post-credit scene for that one, or the mid-credit scene, is Baron Wolfgang von Strucker in a Hydra lab, and they like are examining this scepter, which is Loki's scepter, which we find out has an Infinity Stone in it. And then you see like two of their test subjects, and it's one with superhuman speed and one with telekinetic powers. Who
we can only suspect at this point, I guess. But Quicksilver and the Witch, Scarlet Witch.
Yep.
So do you remember seeing this movie? Have you ever seen this movie?
Yeah.
Yeah. I really enjoyed this one. I think it was a good script. It was sort of like it was just a wee spy espionage type movie, as well as had good fight scenes, and it sort of built the depth of the characters a little bit more, but nothing massively. It didn't include any other Avengers, so that was good. It was just like a solo movie, and it built the whole sort of the S.H.I.E.L.D. and Hydra thing, even though it's not too important anymore. Yeah. It was quite good at the time. I really enjoyed it, and it gave Romanoff a little bit more screen time, which doesn't get much of anyway.
Yes, she's never gonna get a movie title like with her name in the title, so this was like her movie.
Yeah, and like it's weird that they introduced that sort of Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch stuff at the end, because that's like magic, and you're like, it doesn't really work into the whole sort of Captain America stuff. And it was good because it put depth into the story with Tony Stark. Like, who knows that this affects Civil War? You know, that's like 6 movies away or something. But you know, it really puts a big twist to the Civil War story. So this is pretty good. And Zola, the guy from the computer, he was in the first movie, so it kind of links it back to that as well, and it shows you how deep a lot of this stuff goes. This
one tied in really well with the S.H.I.E.L.D. TV series too, because it's all about Hydra and S.H.I.E.L.D. and all that.
Yeah, I never watched that, but I heard it was very good.
It's very good.
Oh, and this we find out that Samuel Jackson, he lifts up his wee eye patch. That's quite cool. Don't you remember that? You see his wee creepy eye. Alright. I like this movie. This is probably one of my favourite Marvel movies. Actually, there's another one that we're going to talk about in a minute, or next episode. That's really good too.
Yes.
Possibly, maybe even better than this, I'm not sure. Different style movie. Yeah. Alright, anything else to add to this one?
Nope.
Alright, so far so good. 3 movies into 7 of Phase 2. Cool. Alright. Well, in that case, I've been Liam.
I'm Kayla.
And this has been Mumblecast.
Bye.
Oh, we didn't say. We're going to finish this off in the next episode.
Yes.
Come out on Sunday or something. Okay, cool. Bye.